I don't mean to brag and I don't mean to boast, but I like hot butter on my breakfast toast. Check it out, baby bubble. Bebop, and Scooby-Doo. Guess what? America, we love rock and roll with so much soul. Gonna rock to 101 years old. I don't mean to brag and I don't mean to boast, but I like hot butter on my breakfast toast. Shake it up, baby Bubba. Lisa, come on, give me the chorus.
Lisa, go Lisa, go Lisa! Motel, Holiday Inn. Say what?
If your girl starts acting up, then you take her friend. That's it.
And there it is, Curtis Maycumber and
goodness.
Lisa Bryant cover Sugar Hill Gang's Rapper's Delight. That was at last year's Shore Living Expo. When you see that, Curtis, are you just proud? You know, you just crushed it. Mortified.
We might be out of business then next week. You show this again.
No way. I think people are going to be fired up. They're like, oh, I can hang with this guy. If I'm stressed about my finances, he's going to sing with me. We're going to, you know. So, of course, we are hanging out with Curtis and his son Colin today. We've talked finances. Now we kind of want to talk a little bit about the White Marlin Open. So you fished in the White Marlin Open in the past.
Yeah, we fished probably 20 straight years, and this is the first year we haven't done it.
And so why the?
Well, we sold the boat, and we did rent a boat last year, and you know I had some of the best captains in the world, and we were really going after it, and we won a lot of money. I just kind of you know, it's a lot of money.
Sure.
It's a lot of money. But there's 8.6 million in there, and with 400 some boats, like $22,000 a boat.
Yeah.
And those two guys aren't going all in. If you go all in, it's darn near $70,000 to
now,
go
despite not being part of the White Marlin Open this year, you guys did very well in the Mid-Atlantic.
Yeah, we were out there. We were actually marlin fishing, and a big eye tuna came and took one of our baits and snapped the line. So we decided to switch all our gear. And actually pulled up 2 big eyes that day and took first and second for the tuna category in the Mid-Atlantic.
Won $800,000 about 300 years ago. Who was watching you reel in the fish?
Yeah, Michael Jordan was actually out there. We could see his boat right behind us, so that's probably my biggest claim to fame.
So, just help us kind of understand, paint the picture for us a little bit, like being out on those boats. Like what is it really like?
Well, you saw that little video of the wrapping. I mean, it's hours and hours of boredom.
Yeah.
Followed by minutes of chaos. It's just absolute chaos when it goes off. And when a marlin comes behind, but you got a spread, right? You got like 8 or 9 baits floating behind at different lengths and different widths. And a marlin will come up and hit it with their bill. And at that point, the angler's got to get to the rod and put it in free spool and let him take it. And he'll take the fish like this and he'll run. And the things unwind, and then you start putting pressure on it. Count to like 5 or 6, and then the line will come tight and it'll come out of the water, and it's like, whoo! I mean, I get goosebumps just thinking about it.
So we heard Colin's #1 story. Do you have a favorite memory, a top story?
Well, this wasn't in the White Marlin, but it was in a shark tournament. We caught a 1,000-pound tiger shark in the morning, and they were in danger, so we had to let it go. But he came up, and his mouth was about as big as that table. I've not been in the ocean since, but later that day we caught a 500-pound mako and killed it and won the tournament.
No
that was
way.
Yeah, it was really a cool day. We caught about 100 sharks that day.
How did you guys get into it all those years ago?
Well, I came into some money and bought a boat called the All In, and we had that for like 13 years. They called it the Crawl In. It was very slow, but we caught a lot of fish with that boat, and just fell in love with it. And then we got to a bigger boat, and then I fell out of love with it because the checking account got real thin real quick. You want to talk about it?
And as a financial guy.
Yeah, I mean, it was the worst investment in the world, but I never told my wife how much money I really lost in boating. Sure. It's a very expensive, very, very expensive habit.
So your song while you're out there, Rapper's Delight. Colin, do you know your song, what your song would be like? Are you ever singing?
I'm not a big singer or dancer. I think that one skipped me. Probably my brother has that gene.
Well, you always had a good, he'd have a mixtape, because when we were done fishing, we would put the captain and crew to sleep, and we would go up on the bridge and drive the boat. We put it on automatic pilot, but we went up there and had a party for a couple hours. We'd wake them up before we got close. All we had to do is avoid other boats.
Right.
And we put on loud music and enjoy an adult beverage or two on the couple-hour ride. It was that was my favorite part, really.
Sounds like a blast.
It is a blast. It is a blast. If you have a fish that's going through the scale, the party's a little more intense.
It's a little,
it's
yeah.
a lot of fun, but
sure it
it's
does.
hours and hours of boredom when you're fishing. You're just watching that little bait fish swim behind the boat.
Right.
And it's like, you know, falling asleep. It's 1,000,000 degrees out. Those boys out there right now are burning up. I guarantee it. It's hot.
Absolutely. Well, you guys are incredible. Of course, Curtis and Colin Maycumber of Key Financial Services, you know, fishing extraordinaires, if you will. Thanks for hanging out with us today.
Good to see you again. Nice to meet you.